What up guys, welcome to another video. Today we're talking about the 6 things I wish I knew before my first track drift day so you know exactly what to expect, what to do, what not to do. Before we dive into it, my name's Cameron and we are out in Phoenix, Arizona, actually in Gilbert, specifically in Phoenix. It's about 100 degrees right now in the summer, so it is hot. If you guys are local, hit that subscribe button if you're dying out here in the heat. But if you guys are from anywhere else and you like automotive stuff, you like Subaru builds, Fox Body Mustang build we just started, and the 350Z builds for drifting, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. We appreciate the nitty-gritty, in-depth installs as well as the simple exhaust tone videos to appreciate the enthusiast, purist side of the automotive scene. So I appreciate it, and let's dive right into the 6 things. Number 1 being public drift events use way less tire than I thought you would. Whenever I see drifting online, I'm like, holy crap, that dude is smoking tires in a V8 240SX, and I'm like, wow, he probably goes through a set of tires every couple laps. Well, it's not really like that when you have an entry-level 350Z like I do for cheap. It's around under 300 horsepower just about, and you maybe get 40 minutes of driving time at an event like Drag and Drift out here in Phoenix, where there's probably 40 plus other drivers that are waiting in line. So you're there for 5 hours, you get accumulated 30 to 40 minutes of driving, which that sounds bad on paper, but it's actually a good time just hanging out being there. So I bought, my first experience, I brought 6 tires just for the rears, so 6 total. And my first set on the rears were 2 used tires I got for 50 bucks each, so $100 total. They had about 30 to 40% tread left, so let's say the 40% tread, I literally maybe used 10 to 15% of that tread the whole night. I was like, wow, I didn't even have to swap tires. It didn't even get close to what I thought. Because the track was so smooth and the not as much driving time as I thought, it was like, cool. I went out, I spent 75 bucks to go and drive. I spent $100 in tires. That's all I need. So that's 175 bucks for one night, 5-hour event. That's once a month. If you think about it, drifting seems a lot more expensive than that on the surface level. And there was guys out there in like the most like tattered and beat up 240s, 350Zs, you know, guys with like 4-door sedans, like old G35s and things like that. You can get into it for not that expensive, and the tires really aren't that bad. The not as expensive part was number 2. I combined those. Number 3 was tech. I thought I could just bring any plain helmet that looked good and new. When I got there, I quickly realized that it needed to be Snell rated, and then Snell has a rating of every 5 years it changes. So it's Snell SA 2015. There's a little red or white tag under the padding of the helmet. So it should say SA 2015. And if it doesn't, you can't use the helmet. So I had to go borrow a buddy's to go through tech and things like that. So when you look for a helmet to go drifting at a track, you need to know that you need to type on like Amazon, just look up Snell SA 2015 helmet. So then in 2020 is gonna be the new rating that you're gonna need, so every 5 years it changes. So once 2020 rolls around, everyone needs an SA 2020 helmet that'll last you for 5 years. That's to my understanding. If I have that wrong, please comment below and let us know and I'll pin the comment. Number 4, you can't wear shorts. I had some passengers I wanted to bring with me and they didn't have pants on. Luckily I wore pants just by luck. I decided to wear pants that day. So just really simple, if you want someone to ride with you, make sure they have pants on, because more than likely the track is gonna make you wear pants. Super simple, but sucked when we were there. You couldn't come with. Number 5, you do not need a hydro brake or a welded diff. If you have a limited slip diff, that's probably plenty. To go out when you're new, it seems like you gotta go all out when it comes to drifting, and I was like nervous about not having some things, and I didn't even have an e-brake when I went out. And you learn to clutch kick, you learn to drive not depending on a handbrake. So when you do get a handbrake like I did, you're like, oh wow, I'm running out of gas, I'm steering full lock, I wish I had a handbrake. Now I learned what times I do need it and don't. You know, there is the conversation though of build the car to how you want, and then learn with all your weapons, so your hydro, your welded diff, things like that. You can learn with everything, or you start with nothing like I did and add things as you go, and you kind of appreciate it a different way. I think either way is fine, whether you fully build the car and then start driving, or drive the car as you're building it. Either way, it is what it is, but to have a good time, I didn't have a welded diff and I didn't have a hydraulic handbrake, and it was totally still fun, and it got plenty sideways and it was a blast. Number 6, last but not least, very minimal but very important. If you like making YouTube videos like I do and you want to go out and film or post on Instagram or whatever, I was like, oh, I'll mount it on the side of the car, or I'll mount it inside, and it was dark, and The whole thing was just a disappointment. Hands down, the best angle if you've got one camera is on the front of your helmet right here or on the side. Well, it would be this side if you're in a regular American car. So when you're driving, you're like, you know, the car's sideways, you're looking this way, you see out the window. It's just the best view to have it from the side or on the mouthpiece right here. I just highly recommend it. I'm gonna leave a link in the description to a mounting kit for a GoPro for your helmet. Don't waste your time. This is seriously a cheap investment if you want to have the best camera angle with the GoPro. I haven't done it yet myself. I ordered the mount. I already have it in my room, so we're gonna go out next time and get some better footage than last time. But that is all 6 things I wish I knew before drifting. Other than that, it might seem intimidating. It's no one cares. You can go spin out. Just go learn the hard way. Get some driving time under your seat, and the amount of confidence I've gained just going to the track is insane on the road. Like, as soon as my car started, like, this is kind of my experience in a nutshell before we go. Every lap, the first couple laps, it's like, holy crap, we're sideways at 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. You're like, it's just happening so fast, and you're like, your hands are going everywhere. But then every lap you do, it's like, it becomes more slow motion. So now it's like I go into a corner at 60 miles an hour, we start going sideways, it's just like goes slow motion, and I'm like, all right, here we go. This is the fun part. I mean, obviously it's happening very fast, but the more laps you do, the more time you have in the seat driving, it becomes slow motion and it becomes so addicting. So I encourage you guys to go buy some tires from a used tire shop if you're on the cheap. But I would go buy some new Ironman tires or Hercules. I just got Hercules on the Cosmos wheels on the 350Z. They're very, very hard. They should last me a while, so go buy one set of tires. It's all you're gonna need at a drift event that's public. Get used to it, go get some seat time, get a feel for it. Don't worry about a hydro brake, don't worry about welded diff, don't worry about seats, don't worry about steering wheel. Just go out there and drive, get a helmet. You guys will seriously be so glad you did it, because your driving confidence will go through the roof and you'll understand, respect every little mod you make, and you'll be super pumped, and you're just gonna get that much more addicted because it's the best. So I appreciate you guys watching. Happy drifting. I almost forgot, karmaspeed.com. I got 3 detail products on there. We got Ultra Shine, Show Shine, and Vanish. Glass cleaner, Vanish, Show Shine detail spray, and Ultra Shine tire shine slash put it in a second bottle, put some water in it, shake it up, mix it with half water, spray it on a rag, use it on your interior, spray it directly on your interior, I don't care. It's a water-based silicone product, and it bonds to tires, it bonds to plastics on interiors. It makes anything look good to give it that shine on your hard to get areas with the interior and the tires. Show Shine Detail Spray smells really good. It's highly concentrated, so when the silicone and things like that in it that touch your paint and you wipe it on, it's like, wow, my car looks amazing. Trevor's car is a little bit faded red. We put Show Shine on it and it looks freaking icy. The whole thing looks way more even red. It looks really good. Perfect if you want going on a night out or a show or whatever, things like that. And then Vanish Glass Cleaner is very strong. It has a very kind of intense smell because it can cut through grime, dirt, bugs, etc. Use a clean side of your rag every time to stay away from streaks. I can tell you this product, if anything, is going to be streakless versus anything, but it really comes down to the importance of having a clean side of your rag. So don't be let down when you use a dirty rag in this product. It's not going to work. Use a clean rag in this product and you guys are going to love it. I think you guys will really respect how concentrated this stuff is because it shows in the final product of how your vehicle looks. So go check it out. I have about 8 more kits, and then we're going to raise the price once I figure out a few things out with the logistics of it. So go grab one while it's hot. I'm rushing it because it's taking way longer than I thought, and I really want to get these products in your guys' hands because I love them. And we're working on a Baja Blast detail spray soon, so stay tuned. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next one. Later.